Hey everyone, welcome to this Arise Care online resource. We're so grateful that you join us here today. The series you're about to embark on is all about how to be the best employee that you can be. We're so honored to have Ali Sopawanga, our HR manager, joining us here today to share with you. So sit back, take some notes if you can, and enjoy this content.
Okay, topic number 2 is we'd love to talk to you about tips and tricks for a successful interview. You may or may not have been at an interview before. You might feel like your palms get sweaty, but I just want to say congratulations and well done for actually making it that far, that your CV was chosen to then to actually go through the interview process. So if you're at that point, half of the challenges has been overcome, and so we would love to just to chat with you now about what are the tips and tricks that we think would be really beneficial when you are going through that interview process. So we'll get started. So number 1, I'd love to say, do your research. So do your research on the company, on the organisation. Look at their website, have a look online, go to their Facebook page, their social media, have a look to see what their mission statement is, what their values are, and why that company is actually a business and what they're doing, what they're selling. Really think that's the best first step for you. Do the research. I think if you can also find out who are their target audience, what type of people are they looking to sell their product to. So, for example, if you're interviewing for, maybe a marketing position, discuss and ask questions like, who are their clients and what started the company, the organisation. So really do your research and look into the company so you are well prepared when you turn up and you're ready for any questions they have for you, but also that you can really show them how you're a really good fit for their organisation. Okay, number 2. I have a saying that 5 minutes early is 10 minutes late. So if you're going for an interview and your interview time is 12 p.m, I would say get there about 10 minutes early. So anything within the 5-minute mark, I would say push it out to 10 minutes because you want to arrive, you want to understand where the bathroom is, you want to not be in a rush. I really believe that the interview starts with the receptionist. So when you turn up, make sure you smile, you say hello, you do some deep breathing. You might be a little bit nervous, but I just think the more time you give yourself, the less stressed you will be when you turn up to the interview. So yeah, like I said, arrive early to compose yourself, have a chat with the receptionist, say hello, be friendly. They'll, I'm sure, tell you to take a seat, and then at that point you can do some breathing and become really relaxed in the environment that you're in, rather than being a little bit late or right to the time limit there too. So that would be a definite tip that I would give you. The next thing I'd love to talk to you about is number 3, which is prepare to talk about yourself. So in an interview, you are definitely going to be asked the question, so tell me about yourself, or where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? These are just some really generic interview questions that people love to ask. So before you go, make sure that you are prepared to talk about yourself. And you don't need to, feel like you are selling yourself or talking too much about yourself. But as you research the company and you are aligning the company with yourself, make sure you tell them a little bit about yourself. You could tell them about your hobbies, you could tell them about your family, but really what they're looking for is if you're a really good fit for the company. So make sure that when you are talking about yourself, that you're basically helping them understand why you would be a good fit in their organisation. Another question they might ask you is, why do you want this job? Or why should we hire you? So when they ask you questions like that, I would really encourage you to talk about maybe how your culture and your mission, your skill set would align with their mission statement. So you can find all of that information on their website. Why should we hire you is another one. So when they ask you why should we hire you, they're basically wondering if you are the best candidate for the job. So the hiring manager wants to know whether you have all the required skill sets for the role. Be prepared to explain why you're the applicant who should be hired. Make your response confident and concise, and make it focused on why you should get the job. So just keep it really focused on that. This is a good time to review, your skill sets and why it would really align to the job that you're going for. You can definitely craft these responses for different interviews that you go to, and I would really recommend you do that prep before you turn up to the interview. Okay, the next tip is showcase your strengths and areas for improvement. So I don't like saying weaknesses, but your areas for improvement. So write a list before you go of your strengths. If you were to ask a friend of yours or somebody that you've worked for before, ask them what your strengths are. They're the types of things that you want to be saying in the interview. So write a list of your strengths and also your areas of improvement, and bring them with you to the interview in case the interviewer should ask about it, which 9 times out of 10 they will. So I would review your resume and the job description the job that you're applying for, and identify the top skills they're looking for and match them with yours. So that's a really great tip, is to make sure that you prepare and understand what your strengths are and areas for improvement. I think that's a really wonderful way to have a quality interview when you do go for the role. Okay, number 5, describe your accomplishments. So it's really important to prepare for the interview by writing down a list of what your accomplishments are, small or big, it doesn't really matter. It's just really important to describe those when you are in that interview setting. So you can outline the results you've produced for companies you worked for in the past. You can discuss how your strengths have led to your previous accomplishments, and also emphasize the approach that you use that will help you replicate your accomplishments in the role that you're actually going for as well. So even if you've produced high quality results in the past, it could be great customer service, it could be turning a customer around that was not happy to being really happy with the service. It doesn't matter what the accomplishment was, it's really good to have a few of those examples in your mind to bring them up if you were to be asked about those. Okay, number 6, ask great questions. So it's really important that you, at the end of the interview, the person will probably ask you, so do you have any questions for us? And it's really important to come prepared for that, because you want to make sure that you look really passionate and interested and intrigued about the job that you are going for. So it's also going to help determine if the position is right for you, because it's as much a discovery for yourself as it is for the role that you're going for and for the company. So make sure you ask really great questions. So questions such as, can you describe important projects that you're working on right now? You could say, what skills does a candidate need to perform well in this role? Or name a few challenges that a candidate may face in this position. Is this a new position? So I've got a list of great questions here that we'll make sure is attached to this as well, so that you can have a look through there and make sure you've got some really great questions, and that's going to look great to the person that's interviewing you as well. Okay, I've got some questions here as well to avoid asking, and there are some questions that you should avoid asking, since they won't present you maybe in the interview process in a positive light. So questions such as, what does the company do? The reason you shouldn't ask this is because you should have done the research yourself before you arrived at the interview. So make sure the questions that you want to know, make sure you find them out before you actually arrive to the interview. Something else would be, if I get the job, when can I take time off for my holiday? So although you will be definitely getting holidays, and 4 weeks if you're in New Zealand, it's 20 days per annum if you're full-time, maybe just hold off until the negotiating part of the contract. You say, look, I've got a holiday booked in 6 months' time. Is it okay if we can build that into the contract? And it's best to wait for that moment rather than the first interview to kind of bring that up. Also, asking questions like, did I get the job? So the person that's interviewing you will be going through probably a lot of candidates. It's best that you at the end just say, hey, look, it was so great meeting you. I really look forward to hearing from you, and I'm really excited about the prospect of moving into this role. So just the impression that you leave with the person is the taste that you leave in their mouth is really important as well. So a few other little tips I'd love to talk to you about is watch your body language. So make sure that you're smiling, make sure that you've got a great posture when you're sitting in your seat. Make sure that you've got, just your attention is all on the person that you're interviewing. Eye contact's great as well. I know sometimes when you're thinking about things, you kind of are looking to the side a little bit, but that's fine. But just smile and watch your body language as well whilst you're in the interview, because a lot of our communication is actually non-verbal. So it is important what you say, but it's also about what you're not saying and about your body language and about your tone that's really important too. Okie doke. Okay, and the last tip I have is to, at the end of the interview, just really reiterate your interest in the position. So like I mentioned before, say, look, I'm really interested in the prospect of this role. I think, I'd love to be a part of this team and what you're a part of. So at the end, really reiterate how much you would love to be a part of the team. I think that's a really great ending point to the interview as well. So there's some tips and tricks from us. I really hope that they're helpful. As I said before, if you have any questions or if you'd love any help, we'd love to continue to help out. So that would be awesome. Okay, bye.
How good was that? We hope you enjoyed that. Hope you took some notes, some takeaways, and we'll see you back here next week.